My screen, why my screen is not seen? Welcome, guys. Hello, hi. Hello, everyone. Thank you for coming and visit our channel. And guys, please subscribe to our channel and try to send the link to your friends also so that they also able to study with us. So I hope in the last lecture, lot of students um, studying the basic properties of laser as well as some important things which are very much important while studying the laser. So in this video, today we are going to study a very types of laser, and one thing is that is the type of laser. Hello Harshvardhan, hello Shivkartik. Today we are going to start a very basic video that is having a types of laser, and in that helium neon and ruby laser we are studying. Okay, so first, anyone know about there are types of laser? Hi Harshvardhan, tell to your friends to attend the lecture. So there are a lot of types of laser. In that, one is solid state laser, second one is the gas laser. Hello, hello. Hi everyone. And third one is liquid laser. So these are some types of laser. Okay. So the solid state means what? Whatever the active medium we are studied in the last lecture, that means the active medium used here is the solid. Good evening, ma'am. Good evening, Vasu. Good evening, Sardi. So where we are solid. So solid state laser, that means the active medium used is a solid. Gas laser means active medium used as a gas material. and liquid laser means liquid is used as a active medium. So you can see that we have an example of a solid state laser, that is the ruby laser, and for gas laser there is the helium neon laser. Okay, so first very important laser is the ruby laser, and we will study that. First, welcome to all. Now we will start the laser. Before going to start, I will tell you one thing. Whenever the questions asked on this type of like long question, so in that like explain ruby laser or write the construction and working of ruby laser, then in that case what we have to do? So much students are getting confused in this case. So what we have to do, we just simply write three things. And that is also I will tell you. So the first thing, whenever the long questions asked at that time, first thing is figure or diagram. Diagram is very much important. And from that diagram, we have to write the two things. From this diagram, we have to write the two things. That is the one is construction, another one is the working. Okay. So we will start with the construction as well as with the figure. Here you are seeing that this is our figure for ruby laser. In that this is our ruby rod. Okay, this is the liquid nitrogen gas, and this is xenon flash lamp. Okay, and that xenon flash lamp is around the ruby rod. So that means this is used as a xenon is used as a external power supply. This is our laser beam which is coming out from this laser. One mirror which is used here, that is the completely reflecting surface, and this one is the partially reflecting surface. Okay, and here we are using liquid nitrogen, and that liquid nitrogen is used for what? Anyone know about this? Why we are using liquid nitrogen? Guys, gives me a thumbs up. Harshvardhan. Anyone is there who is giving me this answer why we are using liquid nitrogen? Don't be afraid of this, because a lot of students having fear when the question is asked for a long question is asked for a lot of marks. Then at that time lot of students are getting confused. So how to write that? How to write this? So in this case you see that we have to draw this diagram. We have to remember this. No option. But from this diagram, how you are writing the construction, that is very much important. Okay, so we will start with the writing construction from this figure. Okay, so you can see that here is our ruby rod. We can write it as ruby rod is a okay. So we have to know what is the ruby rod. So ruby rod is nothing but the aluminium oxide plus 0.05% of chromium atom. First किसका डिस्कशन कर दिया? First we are discussing about the rod. Okay, so in the first point about the rod is made up of aluminium oxide doped with 0.05% of chromium 3 plus ions. ठीक है, तो first line is what about the rod, aluminium oxide plus 0.05% of chromium 3 plus ions. That is very much important because chromium is in the form of Cr also, Cr2 plus also, Cr3 plus also. So here the chromium is Cr3 plus. Everyone understand? So, and the next thing, this is the composition of ruby rod, but what is the length and diameter? Okay, what is the length and diameter? The simple is that length is 10 centimeter and diameter is 0.5 centimeter. 3 lines though you can write it. 3 lines we are writing it from here. ठीक है, अभी देखो, we used to see that this is ruby rod and we are explaining it well. That length is 10 centimeter, diameter is 0.5 centimeter, and it is the composition of aluminium oxide plus 0.05% of chromium 3 plus ions. Okay, but whatever that colors you see here, that is nothing but one is the completely reflecting silvered surface, fully reflecting silver surface, and one is the half or partially silvered reflecting surface, which is allowing laser light to came out from this laser. ठीक है, if anyone have any doubt, please ask me in the comment box so that we will solve it. तो गाइज देखो क्या है फिर इधर, यू राइट अबाउट द rod. One thing is about the dimensions, and third thing is what you are writing about. What is this? One is 100% reflecting, another one is partially reflecting or 80-90% reflecting. Surfaces are there. Okay, and you can see that this is like whatever that partially reflecting surface, that is allowing laser light to came out from this laser. Okay, and here you can see abhi the rod, we will study about rod. Okay, then what is this? You can see this blue color. So blue color light is nothing but our xenon flash lamp. Xenon flash lamp. ठीक है, this is the xenon flash lamp which is surrounded to the ruby rod. Okay, which is surrounded around the ruby rod. Then why we are using that xenon flash lamp? Anyone know about this? Why we are using that xenon flash lamp around the ruby laser or ruby rod? Harshvardhan, Abhilash, Rupesh, anyone know? Why we are using this? No one knows about it? Already we will discuss in the last lecture. If someone has doubt about this, then you will see the last video, one shot on the laser. You can see there why we are using the external power supplies. Okay. So xenon flash lamp is used here for giving a external extra energy to acquire a population inversion condition. Okay, so here you see this is used as a optical pumping. Okay, so that means xenon flash lamp giving a light, and that light will be incidenting on the ruby rod, and then in the ruby rod population inversion will be created. Okay, then we will see this in the next topic, that is how the laser light will be working or laser will be working in this case. I hope you are continue with this point, like what is the xenon flash lamp, what is the partial reflecting, what is the fully silvered surface, why they are used, and no one giving me the answer why liquid nitrogen is used. Anyone having any problems regarding this? So the liquid nitrogen, चलो तो मैं ही बता देती हूँ, आप लोग क्या सिर्फ देखोगे, बताना तो किसी को है नहीं। सही बोला ना? अरे यार इतना टेंशन क्यों ले रहे हो आप लोग? लिक्विड नाइट्रोजन क्यों यूज किया है? टू रिमूव heat. To remove heat whenever this light is working or this laser is working, at that time some heat will be generated and that heat will be removed or decreasing down by using the liquid nitrogen surface. And one power supply is used, that is used to give a voltage or power supply to the xenon flash lamp. This all the things you have to write in the construction. First one is what? About rod. Then about reflecting surfaces. Then about xenon flash lamp. Then why use this reflecting surfaces, and then what is the liquid nitrogen, or why we are using liquid nitrogen, then xenon flash lamp. This point you have to write in the details. Okay, then next important, working of ruby laser. Okay, so you know about whenever the light is incidenting on the ruby rod, then at that time the whatever the ground state electrons will be now going into the excited state, and whenever they are going into the excited state, we require a population inversion condition. So for that, little bit things will be happening inside that ruby rod. In the ruby rod, chromium atoms Cr3 plus ions are the active centers. So you see that whenever the xenon flash lamp is on, at that time chromium ions in the ruby rod absorb the energy and jump to the higher energy level E3. You see here, this is our ground state. And whenever the xenon flash lamp is on, and at that time whenever the light is incidenting on the ruby rod, then whatever that chromium ions absorbing the energy and going into the excited state. Guys, gives me thumbs up. I think you people are sleeping. Then already in the last lecture we will study about what is the active centers. As in this lecture also, some students, like all the students are there, but some students are responding and some students are just sitting and watching. That means whatever that students are reacting, that is the active centers. And the same way in the ruby rod, that aluminium and oxide and chromium atoms are present, but only chromium atoms are working as a active centers. Okay, so now chromium atom absorbing energy from the optical pumping, that is having the value 5500, that means 5500 angstrom energy will be absorbed by the chromium atom and going into the excited state. ठीक है, कहाँ से कहाँ ट्रांजिट किया? E0 to E3. Now this is our excited state, but after 10 to the power minus 8 seconds, that excited state electron transit from E3 to E2 state, And now we know that we required a metastable state. For what? Anyone know for what we are using that metastable state? Guys, gives me a little bit answer. It is already happening in the last lecture. Why we required a metastable state? Anyone? Kasim, Rupesh, Harshvardhan, Sardi. Anyone know about it? Why we are using metastable state? Guys, we have to move fast because we have to complete again a one important point, that is the helium neon laser. किसी को नहीं पता है? No one know about why we required helium neon metastable state. Okay, so the metastable state is used for acquiring a population inversion, right? Rupesh, right? For population inversion. Good. Thank you for responding, Rupesh. It's the right answer. For population inversion, we required a metastable state. So whatever the electron in transit from E0 to E3, that will be again transit from E3 to E2 by spontaneous emission. And that emission is nothing but the radiationless emission. Radiationless means what? Only energy will be decreased down. Energy will be decreased down, but no any light or photon will be coming out through this. Okay, then that is the radiationless transition. Then we are using metastable state for population inversion whenever the number of atoms or ions will be accumulated in the metastable state. At that time, what happened? Population inversion condition will be acquired. That means the number of atoms in the metastable state is more than the number of atoms present in the ground state, right? So that's why in the transition between E2 to E1, at that time laser light will be coming out and having a value 6943 angstroms. Okay, so that means whatever the light is coming out through it, that is 6943 angstroms. So you just have to write only these things, and that is the working of ruby laser. But let me tell you one thing, you have to draw this diagram also. Energy, this is called as energy level diagram. In that you have to draw 3 lines. Okay, just 3 lines. One is excited state, one is ground state, one is metastable state. And what you have to say, whenever the xenon lamp is on, at that time the ground state atom, ground state chromium atom, that is important, chromium atom absorbing energy and transit to excited state E3. Okay, then whenever it will be here, then it will quickly transit from excited state to the metastable state E2. Okay, then in that case, whenever it will be comes from excited state to metastable state, there is a no any radiation. That means radiation less transition. Okay, and then whatever the atoms is coming from E3 to E3 to E2, then it will be accumulated here. So consequently, the number of atoms in the metastable state is more as compared to the number of atoms in the ground state. Then in that condition, the population inversion will be acquired. ठीक है. And whenever the population inversion will be achieved, then the lasing action will be created and laser light is coming out through this transition from metastable state to the ground state and having a wavelength of 6493 एंगस्ट्रॉम्स. इतना भी लिख दिया तो भी काफी है. दो डायग्राम एंड दो डिस्कशन. वन इज द कंस्ट्रक्शन एंड वन इज द वर्किंग with this whole thing. That is enough. I hope everyone understand this. Guys, gives me a thumbs up. Today very less students coming. Why is this so? Is there any problem? Okay guys, we will study with the and again you can discuss this point also, advantages and disadvantages. Okay, you people please take the screenshot of this so that it will be with you, and we will start with the next topic, that is the helium neon laser. Okay, so it is the very much simple, very much simple. Rupesh, the important point in this topic is that the whole point is important because the directly question asked on this topic, directly the question will be asked on this topic for 10 marks. Explain ruby laser with figure or diagram. Okay, and this is all about the 10 mark question. So this is not like it is not important as a point, exam point of view. I hope you understand this, Rupesh. Saradi, can you please explain me why what you don't know? So we will go through this. Sardi is there. Yes, Rupesh, I hope you understand why the topic is important. Now the same like helium neon laser is also the same thing, that the question may ask for the 10 marks. There what is the explain helium neon laser, helium neon laser with figure. Okay. So in that case also we have to draw this figure. Helium neon laser diagram is very much simple. Here you see that only the tube is there. Okay, Sarthi, it's okay, no problem. Those who want to study, they are have to come here. It is not any forceful interaction to come here. Okay. So in this helium neon laser also, very much simple construction is there. One tube is there and that tube is filled with the helium and neon gas, and there are only two mirrors and only one thing, discharge electrodes. So you have to remember this figure. You can take the screenshot, or either I will share this ppt in the description box so that you can use this also. Okay, now start with this. So you have to draw this diagram and explain it one by one. So whatever the tube, so tube is having diameter, tube diameter. Sorry for that. I want some space so that I have to write something here. Okay. So first thing, diameter. Diameter is 2 to 8 mm and length of this rod is 10 to 100 centimeter. तो ये हो गया सिंपल. This one is 10 to 100 centimeter and this one diameter is 2 to 8 mm. ठीक है. एंड उसके बाद फिर क्या, उसमें जो गैस है, so that gas is helium and neon gas with a ratio of 10:1. 10:1 ratio, that means 10 elements of helium and 1 element of neon. It is that much very much easy. Okay guys, give me a thumbs up. Like 100 as 10. ओके, मतलब 10 या फिर 100 अगर हीलियम के एटम्स है तो उसमें अगर 10 एटम है तो उसके साथ एक नियॉन का एटम रहेगा. एंड अगर 100 एटम्स हीलियम के है तो उसमें 10 एटम किसके रहेंगे, नियॉन के रहेंगे. ठीक है. सो दैट इज द कॉम्बिनेशन ऑफ मटेरियल्स और गैसेस यूज्ड हियर. सो फर्स्ट तो हो गया डायमीटर कितना है, लेंथ कितनी है. फिर उसके बाद क्या हुआ, हीलियम एंड नियॉन गैस का डिस्कशन करेंगे. हीलियम नियॉन गैस इज यूज्ड हियर विद द 10:1 रेशियो. ठीक है. देन उसके बाद वी आर यूजिंग हियर one fully reflecting surface and one is partially reflecting surface. ऑप्टिकल रेजोनेटर, जैसे रूबी लेजर में किया था वैसे ही दिस इज द ऑप्टिकल resonator and one is the fully reflecting surface and one is the partially reflecting surface. So whatever the rays coming towards the fully silvered mirror, that is exactly returned back and then it will be coming out through the second mirror, that is the partially silvered mirror. And one thing, whatever the mirrors having a 45 angle position with the axis. Axis means this is our rod, this is the tube and this is the axis of this tube, and whatever the mirrors we are fetching here, that is a 45 degree angle. ठीक है. मतलब जो भी मिरर की पोजीशन है वो कैसी है, ऐसे अगर एक्सिस है तो उसके साथ ये इसका 45 डिग्री के एंगल में ये मिरर्स है. ठीक है. सो दिस इज ऑल अबाउट द कंस्ट्रक्शन ऑफ द हीलियम एंड नियॉन लेजर. ओके. देन one thing is there, helium in this tube is used as with the pressure of 1 mm of Hg and neon pressure is about 0.1 mm of Hg. I know that you students are getting thirsty maybe because of exams, but please just for 10 minutes, then we will stop here with the working. Okay. So you understand that what you have to write first, what tube, about the dimension of tube like diameter and length. Then you have to write about the mixture which is used in the material, that is the helium and neon with the percentage or the ratio of 10:1. And the last thing that we have to discuss in this point, that is the about optical resonator and optical resonator or either a mirrors. That mirrors are 45 degree perpendicular to the axis of the cylinder. ठीक है. तो whatever the things we are explaining, that is enough for the helium and neon laser with this diagram. ठीक है. And the next important thing is working. So it's very much simple working of this. So sorry guys for little bit disturbance. Now working of laser, helium neon laser. So very much simple is that this is our helium and this is our neon. Whenever the light is incidenting, or sorry, discharge is happening, because here in this helium neon laser discharge will be happening inside the material, and at the same time these are like E naught, E1, E2, F naught, F1, F2, F3, F4. Okay. So here you can see that whenever the light is incidenting, then helium atoms are excited from ground state to the excited state E0 to E1. Then whenever it comes here, due to energy resonance, due to energy resonance, you may the question may be come into your mind that what is the resonance. So whenever two things having the same energy levels or same energy values, then we will call it as the energy resonance. So in this case the E2 and F4, both the energy levels of helium and neon having the same energies, and that's why whatever the energy is with the helium atom, that is transferred to the neon atom and and helium atom going into their ground state. But whenever it will be going into the ground state, it is the radiation less transition, because whatever the energy is with the helium atom, that will be transferred to the neon atom with the having energy level F4. Okay. Then now that is the very much important thing. Whenever the neon atom is in the F4 state, it will be transit in between F2, F3 and F2 with a radiation less or visible IR region, that will be radiating range IR range light, and coming from F4 to F3, either F3 and either F2. Then this F2 state is work as a metastable state. Metastable state. Okay. Then whenever it will be worked as a metastable state, then whatever the atoms is coming here, that will be accumulated for the longer time. And we know that when the number of atoms in the higher energy level is more than the number of atoms in the lower energy level, then that condition is nothing but the population inversion condition. And whenever the population inversion condition will be achieved, then and then only we got a laser light. So in this case, uh, whenever the number of atoms will be increased, and then that will be transit from F2 to F1, then laser light of red color is coming out from this. And then whatever the energy is, whenever the electron transits from F2 to F1, then at that time it will be came to F1, and then it will be again transit from F1 to F0 with a radiation-less transitions. Radiation-less transitions, and whatever the energy is with the atom, whenever it is in the F1 state, that will be losing and going into the ground state by bombarding on the wall of the tube. I hope you understand this, what is happening here. I will explain it again. So, I will just explain this part, neon part. Okay? So, whenever the helium atom is transit from a lower energy level to higher energy level, and then it will, due to energy resonance, it will transfer their energy to neon atom with F4. Okay? This is F node, F3, F2, F1. Okay? Whatever the atoms is here now, that will transit into F3 and F2 by IR transitions or IR range light. It will be coming out from this. Then what happened there, whatever the atoms is coming to F2, that will be stays for a long time because it is worked here as a metastable state. Okay. Then whatever the metastable state, whenever the number of atoms will be more, because in this case also F1 is the lower energy state and F2 is the higher energy state. That means the number of atoms now in the F2 state are more as compared to the number of atoms in the F1 state. So in this case the population inversion, I just write PI, that is the population inversion condition will be acquired, and when the population inversion condition will be acquired, then the transition will be happen and the laser light is coming out through this transition. And what is the color of this transition is red with 6940 angstroms value. Okay. Then what happened, whatever the atoms coming here from F2 to F1, that will be transit or going to the ground state, that will be going to the ground state by giving their remaining energy, that is 14 point something electron volt is there, and that energy will be losing by the atoms from the F1 state to F0 by bombarding on the wall of the tube. So that is this whole things will be happening here, and I hope everyone understand this. If anyone have any question, please write in a comment box so that I will make it clear. These are some advantages and disadvantages. You just take a screenshot of it so that that advantages and disadvantages, if you want, then you can add into your answers also. Anyone have any query? Please ask me in the comment box. Thank you, Vishnu. Thank you, Harshvardhan. Sai Harshit. Mohan Sai. Thank you for coming in the live session. Sardi, Rupesh. सबको थैंक यू आने के लिए. And tomorrow also we will discuss a very important point in the engineering physics, that is the optical fiber, that is at the same time and in the same way, in the very simple manner. Thank you guys coming to our channel Lux Physics. Stay tuned with us. चैनल को लाइक करो, शेयर करो एंड सब्सक्राइब करो.